Let's dip. I found some more things that I need to dip for today, which will be some milk chocolate brownies, milk chocolate sea salt caramels, and a lot more stuff. But let's get started with that. Let's dip. Tempering chocolate here. You know the drill. Nice though, my bowl is starting to form in my puddle, which is great for dipping. Keeps control of the chocolate, and right now I can dip a lot of stuff very quickly if we needed to. But relaxing Sunday, we don't open for a couple hours here at the chocolate bar in Westfield. Alright, now we keep our brownies chilled. I just put them on sticks, and we're gonna make some. I think we'll make a couple plain and a couple of sprinkles. Here I come, coming back with sprinkles. Kind of needed them. Colorful. Okay, so we're just going to dip a few brownies for our illustration. They're relatively easy to just stick with a lollipop. Just don't overstick, don't go through the other end. I'll make this look really easy, and it is, but it might take a little practice. So my chocolate is now tempered. The brownies are cool, which is kind of like a strawberry, so it'll harden the chocolate faster and make this job easier. I want to make sure they're fully covered. Sometimes a trouble spot is where the brownie meets the stick. You want that brownie to stay fresh. These will be good for a few days at least. Wrapped, at least a couple of weeks. We sell everything so quickly, and as you see, I dip everything in such small batches here at the chocolate bar that it's impossible to find something that wasn't just dipped. So sometimes I do a little flip around. Sometimes if I think the coating's a little thin as I'm tempering, I'm noticing everything as I'm doing it. You can sometimes drizzle on top. These are chilled already, so you'll even get those lines to stick on that. If the chocolate was untempered or a little thinner, it might just blend in, and it does still blend in a little bit. But in a second, that would harden up, and then I put more stripes on it. So really, if you want to do all milk chocolate or all white chocolate, all dark chocolate, sometimes it's fun just to drizzle that same chocolate on it. I'll drizzle that one, and you'll see the difference. All right, let's get these sprinkled brownies going. I'm gonna go fast, because my chocolate's getting hard quick. And I'm letting the chocolate get thick because sea salt caramels are next. And they're kind of similar when I do in truffles. I want the coating to be a little thicker so that the caramel doesn't protrude from the chocolate, and that the caramel stays nice and fresh with a thick coating on it. So now this is hardening up quick, so I'm gonna do the sprinkles first. Bam, there's the sprinkles. Keep it all neat. When you're doing this on a tray, you can't shake the tray unless you're making pops where you're trying to get the air bubbles out like that. You can, keep track of your sprinkles. A lot of these things I'm dipping later don't need sprinkles on them, so watch what you're doing. Nothing's easy. All right, let's get to those sea salt caramels. These are just nice plain caramels on a tray. They've been balled and rolled and ready to dip. I've decided to do sea salt caramels that way. I can make the salted caramel and then dip them in chocolate and put the salt on top, or no salt on top. But to be able to see them differently in the case, I like the cool vision of the salt on top. And then it makes it easier to wipe some of the salt off if you're not so much of a salt caramel person. I don't know. I like to make them that way. They look cool. So, and they taste great actually. I wasn't a big fan of sea salt caramel, salt and caramel and chocolate, but these are just made so fresh and they're delicious. So, obviously my chocolate is ready. My caramels are chilled so they didn't fall down and turn into little caramel blobs. There's a caramel. Now the tricky part about doing this is not letting the chocolate, you can't put the salt on right away, and you can't put the salt on after it hardens too much. So you have to find your zone of how many to dip and then salt them. I mean, you can salt them right away and the salt kind of melts in. It really depends on the chocolate itself too. I like a coarse sea salt for my sea salt caramels. If you have a helper, this is a good time for them to come to a dipping situation. Alright, I'm seeing some hardening, getting nervous, so I'm going to. I put my finger over the hole and I blast out a little blast on top of each one. A little tricky sometimes, but the sea salt caramels, I don't mind a little salt on the bottom. It just adds to the texture of the product. So let's continue. Sea salt caramel. Let's dip. Just made. Chocolate's kind of thick. You'll see it's all the lines are kind of holding there. It's a thick chocolate. I gotta work fast. If I want to work real fast, I can put a few in at a time. Then you really gotta go. Oh, I haven't striped those brownies yet. See, I didn't get any salt in my chocolate. That's also a nice reason to not put the salt into the caramel itself. Look, those are some nice stripes. We'll go back to one at a time. The chocolate's really thick now, so it's going to harden up quick. Let's dip. Keep track of your salt, don't spill. I think I lost a grain or two there. A funny overreaction. Camera shy. Okay, sea salt caramels are done for what I'm doing today. So you'll see I'm not making much for today. So if you want those sea salt caramels, you better get down here to the Chocolate Bar Westfield and buy them. Or watch them dip and get them shipped. Alright, for now, that's the end of our segment here at Let's Dip. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for checking out what to do with the chocolate. I would love to teach you how to dip chocolates. I've been doing it for a very, very long time. And I've ran several stores and chains of stores. So just let me know what I can do to help you out.